So basically just give that a read through, make sure it all makes sense. I put some examples on lines 9, 10, and 11. So let me know if you have any questions about the question.
Okay. Okay, seems straightforward enough. So I guess I would start off defining a function, call it validate, takes in a string, call it str. Actually, we won't call it str, we'll call it s.
Okay.
Is there any reason that str gets
yes, that's how you'd cast something to a string.
Okay, so we won't do that then. So let's see. Guess my first thought would be to guess you want to store every open bracket, and then get rid of it once its matching closing bracket comes. But the order matters. So I guess you would throw all the open brackets into a stack.
Okay.
And then let's see. You keep on, throwing them in there, and then once you come across a closing bracket, if it matches the top of the stack, then you're good to go. And you can pop that top one and delete the closing bracket.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I guess you just want to cycle through until you get to the end of the string, and if your stack is not empty, then it does not pass.
Sure. So, yeah, that makes sense. So why use a stack?
So the benefit of using a stack is that it's, let's see, first in, last out, Philo, because the order matters. You want to, let's see, just making sure. Yeah, so you want to make sure that the most, let's call it the most recent bracket is dealt with before you start closing the external brackets.
Okay, yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think it makes sense. We can probably start coding it up now, and we'll see what other issues we come across.
Yeah, okay. And is there any special syntax for you, just like using an array is good, or list?
Yeah, so the lists have a built-in .pop.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
We'll call it stack, define it to an empty array, and we'll say for C in S, I guess there's probably an easier way than, let's see, maybe up above as not a global, but maybe a class data field or something, we have a map of all the different, well, maybe not a map actually.
And what is this for?
This is just for comparison, just to see like if the character like for C and S, if C is in this map or in this dictionary of parentheses, then you can, add it to the stack and all that good stuff. But if it's not, then then you would return true, just because that would mean it's an empty.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you just start typing up that? You can put it in the function too. It can be within there. It doesn't need to be a global or anything.
Okay. So we'll call it reference. We'll make it
it'll autocomplete it for you. It's a little
kind of a pain. I'm not gonna fill out this whole thing just because that's gonna take a while. But
sure. Yeah, but I assume let's just
Yeah. So for C in S, we want to say if C is in ref, then stack dot append. Yeah.
Yep.
Dot append C.
Okay. So what is this doing here?
So this, actually no. So this is not what should be done. If C is in ref, okay. So I think we need a mapping between the two open and close.
Can you show me what you mean?
So we would need a dictionary that takes two characters, or it's the key is a character and the value is a character. The key will be the open bracket and the value will be the close bracket.
Yeah, that's what you have there, right?
Yeah. At first I was saying just a list of all of them.
Oh, no. I know what you meant. This is what you have here. This is a map. This is a dictionary. So
Okay. Just checking. So if C is in ref, then let's see. If C is in ref, append it to the stack. If ref C guess we want to say if C equals
So what are you confused on right now?
So right now I want to. So if C is in the map, or if C is an open bracket, I want to append it to the stack.
Right.
Which it's currently doing. But then I also want to have a clause if closing bracket, which I don't know how you would do with a dictionary. I guess you could cycle through.
I would actually take a look at the way that you're initializing the dictionary. I think that'll help you, because the logic is perfectly fine. But I think that dictionary, the way you're defining it, it could be defined in another way that might make your life a lot easier. So you're basically checking on line 19 there if it's in the keys of that ref dict, right? So if it's there, then you want to append it. But you mentioned think about how you're taking action when you have a closed bracket. What do you want to do?
Pop the stack.
When you have a closed, you want to pop the stack, but then in terms of the dictionary, basically, how are you asserting whether or not that specific instance of a closed bracket is valid.
If it matches the top of the stack.
Right.
Oh, yep. Okay. So, should they be switched then? The key should be the closing, and the value should be the open.
Yeah, why don't you try that? We'll see what happens.
Okay. So, if C is in ref, then we want to say, does stack, is there like a peep?
Is that a C++ thing? What are you trying to do?
Just look at the top of the stack.
Oh, that would be stack.pop.
But does that pop it off
that
the
will
stack?
remove it. Yeah, you could do stack of -1. That'll negative index it for you, and it'll get the last element.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess if it fails, then it doesn't matter. So I guess popping is fine.
Okay. So right. What are you trying to do here? So if C is in ref, what's going
on? If C is in ref and ref C is equal to stack.pop, then actually, I'm going to break it down just because it's confusing. So if C is in ref, then we check if, okay, so we'll have C, or we'll just have a temp equal stack.pop. If temp is equal to, does not equal ref C, return false. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. And then we want to say if I guess just else stack dot push C.
Append, I think, would be. I'm not sure if
push
is.
Right.
But yeah, it's fine. Okay. So I think the logic is right, but I see a couple little things that could get you. So that stack.pop is going to remove an element from the list. So what if I fed it this here? What if the only thing, the string I gave was just this?
So it would come in, it would say, yes, it's in ref. So temp now equals that. If temp
equals what?
If temp does not equal ref C, return false. So,
well, what does the stack look like right now in this first iteration?
It's just a stack of 1 until it gets popped.
With just this line 13's input there?
Oh, right. Actually, no. So that's not in there yet.
It'll never be in there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Huh. So I guess you need to check if it's I guess you would have to check if the stack is empty. Let's see. I think going back to the original open close dick might be the way to do it.
I
Instead
think
of
you're
close
right
dick.
now. What you have works based
Mm-hmm.
on the way you've described it, so I wouldn't touch that. I think the only thing you really got to watch out for is just with that stack dot pop, and then keeping
Mm-hmm.
track of the size of the stack. Because if line 21 gets hit with an empty stack, that's gonna fail out. It'll
Crash.
bug out on you.
Yeah.
So I would say
Right.
most of the improvements here are probably within that for loop there, just messing around with the conditionals. I
Mm-hmm.
think because, like I said, I know your thought process is correct. So now it's just a matter of those edge cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would just maybe rearrange them or maybe add some extra things to it, like if this or that and that, and that
Right. So
should be a good solution for you.
before the pop, I could say, or instead of the pop, I could do an if stack is empty, temp equals blank string, or like empty string, and then else temp equals stack.pop.
Okay, so now go back to the 13 example again. What do you want to do there if C is in your ref, so C is a closing bracket, and the
Mm-hmm.
stack is empty? What do you do?
If stack is empty, then return false.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if stack dot.
It's just if len in Python is just if the length
Oh,
of the
right.
stack is 0. Yeah. So len and then like this. Here.
Equals 0.
I wrote it up for you. The
Oh,
syntax up
okay.
there.
Gotcha. So len stack equals 0. We want to return false again. Else we do this.
All right. So now
Yeah.
also just as another little syntax thing, false
Mm-hmm.
is capital F.
Oh, right.
It should syntax highlight. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
So
outside of this for loop, there should be a return true. But I think that's assumed.
else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, you could definitely condense this down, but it's not a big deal.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So yeah, basically the trick was the stack. You got that right away, so that's good. Having a reference dictionary is nice. That saves you some time, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having, because you could definitely solve this with a ton of conditionals, checking open, close,
Yeah.
open, close.
Yeah. That
I
just
think
seems like a pain though.
in general, it's a little cleaner to have this, and of course, this is expanded for all the different parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. So now we'll just say what's the time, and then what's the space for this complexity of this solution.
So I guess the space is O of n.
Okay. Why is that?
Because, well, really it's O of n over 2, but I mean, that gets simplified to O over n, because at most the stack will grow to, actually, no, I guess if it was all open brackets the whole way through, then
Right.
the stack would grow to n. And I guess the reference takes up, constant space. but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's not on an order n, so you're good there.
Yeah.
Yep. So O of n space, you're right.
And then time would just be O of n as well.
And why is that?
Every character has a string.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. No, it's pretty good. You get the stack right away. Like I said, that's great. Yeah. So there might be a syntax error or something weird with this logic, but again, I understand you definitely have the same thought process that I was looking for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would accept that. So yeah, great
Sweet.
job. Any questions for this one?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Awesome. And yeah, so we will be filling out a feedback form. So basically, we record this. You'll see it on YouTube, and then we'll give you feedback for each of the questions you answered, and then also the tell me about yourself you did and things like that. I'll look at the video and give our own 2 cents, and then we'll be sending that out probably tomorrow. So
Sweet. Sounds good.
awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.